just with Simon. We've just picked up another injured rescue from a garden in Arbor Park, which is in Zinine. Oh, we're just going around the tight end. The little Bubba looks like he's been hit by a car, and so we've just gone to pick him up because he has some climbing issues. It was a very nice lady that showed us. She is the homeowner. She sees him daily, but she thinks he's been hit by a car. So we've just scooped him up. Had to fight off Daddy. It was a big male that was not happy with us taking his baby. But baby was struggling, so we had to. Little one could not climb, so we have to make sure that he's okay before we go back. So we're just at the vet with little Bubba, who is a girl. And it looks like she has some problems with her left leg, which is this bottom leg here. There is clearly a lesion on the head there. So if the lesion's on the right side, it makes sense that she's got a problem on the left. So we're just going to get Dr. Sarah to have a little x-ray and see what's really going on in there. And then hopefully she's well enough that with a few days, a few weeks of TLC, she can go home.
Even more sadly is that this little one was not involved in a motor vehicle accident, but has actually been shot more than 7 times with an air rifle and left for dead. The person saw it crawling around in their garden, trying to keep up with the troop. I just can't imagine anything crueler, and what kind of person it takes to shoot a small juvenile little animal and just leave it around suffering. But anyway, that's for their conscience, not something that I can do much about. The best we can do is try and hope we can restore this little one back to full health again and give it a chance to go back to its troop.
18-month-old girl who we thought had been hit by a car, with the x-rays at the vet show actually she's been shot by a pellet gun 6 or 7 times.
Lovely.
And it's the pellet gun in the head that has caused head injury, brain trauma, fractured skull. That is probably why she wasn't moving properly. There she
It's
is.
pretty bad.
So the vet was able to get the pellet out of the front, so she said the pellet's gone in here and come out here. So she was able to get the pellet out of this bit. So this is the only one she was able to get out, but there are a further 6 in there. And she's got one in her pelvis, in her tail, in her hip, in her spine. It might just be 5. She doesn't think there'll be any problems, but we do have a very swollen knee at the moment. The knee might be the one that we get taken out at a later date, but we need to see if the problem she has with her left side is the pellet or the brain injury. So just with Gunshot Girl, as she's affectionately known on night shift, she's just had her antibiotics. She's a little bit dozy after the sedation at the vet's, but she's slowly coming to. So she's just having her antibiotics. We'll have some more meds and some more fluids, and then we'll hopefully rest up for the night. I expect this little one to be quite feisty in the morning. She's got a spirit, this one. She's a fighter, so... Oh, there she goes, she's tired. We're just eating some banana. We've just had some fluids. We've got quite a high temperature. So we're going to make sure we're eating and drinking to help fight off any infection. Oh, you missed it, darling. It's there. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Good morning. So, just woken up this morning after a night shift to see how little girl is doing. We're awake. We're alert. So she slept really well last night. I checked on her at 1 o'clock, make sure she's okay. Gave her some more fluid, see if that temperature will come down. She was very soundly asleep. Oh.
Well, little Idris is improving each day. It is quite remarkable. As you saw earlier on, he is eating and everything properly without any problem. He's now been moved into a slightly bigger cage. We're still worried a little bit about his leg, and we might just take him back to the vets as soon as he's recovered a bit more to see if we can get that pellet removed out of his leg, because that might interfere with his movement later on. But he's improving in leaps and bounds, and it's quite remarkable to see his progress every single day. He's not moving around much, as you can see, still sitting in the area, but at least he's got a bit of a bigger enclosure for himself. He can see what's going on. At the moment, he does just need like a little bit of a quiet spot and time to himself to just let these wounds heal and recover, get his faculties back, because you must remember this is a pellet that's hit him in the head, so he would be suffering a certain amount of concussion. You can still see that in his eyes. His pupils are still fairly large, so it'll take a little bit of a while for him to come around, but he's doing exceptionally well, and we expect to be able to take this little one back to where he came from and release him and let him or her rejoin his family. But you can see nice appetite, doing very well, and we're very proud of him. Also managed to find a little drinking bowl fairly easily, drinking with no problem as well, which is very, very important. So all the steps are showing that progress is very, very good, and hopefully it's not going to be long before this little one is up and running around.
So this is Idris just in his crate. He slept really well last night and we woke up feisty. We're biting everyone, which is understandable. But he is moved from sickbay into Zach's cabin. Zach is just coming over here. There we go. There's Zach. Zach is actually quite interested in his new little friend. Doesn't quite know what to make of him, but he is in a crate. Idris would rather be left alone by everyone and everything. And that is Zach's favourite corner. So Zach will go sit himself over there when he wants a nap or some food. You'll see his trail of food leads to the corner. You'll see he's doing much better with his head. When he is curious, he will go full tilt and fully horizontal. Oh. Here's Idris. He's in a little bit of pain today. So you'll see him lying like this quite a lot. And there's a couple of his wounds. So we found this one closest to his anus yesterday, and the one further up on his hip. And then that little round one on the thigh was there already. He's got one on the knee. He's got one on his abdomen. He's got the two on his head.
This little one is one of the lucky ones. A lot of them we don't find. A lot of them, there's no nice person out there that's actually watching little troops and actually enjoying nature and the monkeys as they should be. And when they see there's something wrong, report them to us so that we can actually go out there and do something. So we're very grateful for the lady who phoned in. I'm sure little Idris, that this one's now called, is grateful that she let them know about her or him. I'm not too sure if it's male or female yet. But you can see he needs the sleep, they need the time to recover, and he's still worried about the little wound on his head. But time will tell how things are going. He's lucky he's got Zach nearby. He's come around to have a look and see how he's doing, and saying, look, it's not too bad here. These people really go all out to make our lives as comfortable as possible, and I'm sure you're going to be fine in the end of the day. So it's just good sleep at the moment. That we've got to make sure this little one has time to recover, and then see how we can get rid of some of the other pellets, and hopefully we're going to have a chance to take this little one back from where it came let him go back with its mom and the rest of the troop. It's a little bit difficult to see, but Zach's in the background there trying to peep in to see how Idris is doing, and that's what's keeping the attention of Idris. And you just have a look here, you'll see like little Zach just now peeping around the corner just to see how Idris is doing. So yeah, he's very, very interested. Not too really sure if he knows what Idris is at the moment, but he does get a little bit of jealous when people start feeding Idris and he's not getting something, and then tries to get the attention to himself. So normally little ones of this size probably get on a lot easier than adults, because they wouldn't find any competition with each other, just really as playmates. So it must be quite interesting for both of them. Just remember, you've got two monkeys from completely different troops here, so it is not a natural setting. Whether or not these two know they're from different areas is something else, probably more on the side of Idris, because he's been out in the wild the soonest, and he's not suffering as much setback as what Zach is. So he's probably got a little bit more of his faculties there. Although he is still suffering a little bit of concussion, I think he'll know a little bit more than what Zach does. Well, the end of the day has come, and at least little Idris is doing very, very well so far. Just going to do fine little bits of antiseptic cleanup here and there on some of the little wounds that he's got from the pellets, and then of course he'll be left alone to sleep for the rest of the evening.
Just want to show you some of the view as the sickbay area. So we have the surgery here, and we've got a bed in case we need people to stay overnight with a critical care patient. And then we've got well labelled cupboards with all the materials we need: syringes, needles, diagnostics, emergency drugs, suture materials, and cleaning things, and our lab equipment with our microscope, which helps to diagnose parasites and other various things. Personal protective clothing and books and so on. Microchips, because we microchip every monkey here at the foundation and keep a record on our database. And then we got some medicines and bandaging materials, and a surgery fridge, of course, and then a sink that we can wash our hands and make sure that we are well scrubbed before working with any of the patients. Just also like to thank everybody who's contributed towards medical supplies for the monkeys. Here are some crate bandages that have been donated. Also some plasters, some fabric plasters as well to keep bandages on. And then we've also got many other medications and so on that have been donated, and different types of material that we use, such as sterile gauze and so on. We've also got a intercom telephone that we can use to call for emergencies as well.
Hello, so my name's Becky. We're going to go take Zach and Idris actually down to Disneyland. Zach needs a little bit more space, and in his outside area, he is actually jumping out of the shade netting fence that we built. So we're going to go bring him down to Disneyland and see how he does in there. He was in Disneyland about 3 or 4 weeks ago, but it was too overwhelming, all the sights and the sounds and the noises, so he got a little bit stressed, but he's doing much better with sound and stimulation now, so we hope that he will do much better. Idris is coming too, but that's just because we don't have enough people to actually have them separated. So he's going to come too for a change of scenery, and then we'll see if he enjoys it as well. Let's go. Come for my boys. So Zach and Idris are just currently in here. Zach is ready to go in his crate. He's the little blue and white stripy one, and then Idris is in this grey one here. Idris is still on crate rest, which is why he's in the crate, and Zach is only allowed to come down. And so we'll take him down and see what happens. Don't worry about the clipboard, just meds, food.
Perseveres bags.
Perfect, ready to do.
Is food box there. He doesn't have any meds.
Lovely. Okay. Idris can come too.
Okay.
Do you want to bring him down after?
Yeah, I finished one meds.
Yeah. Perfect. We're going to start with Zach because Idris has a couple more meds. So we're going to start with Zach and see how he does.
So because Zach isn't really good yet at climbing, or we don't know how good is his climbing ability, we put some of these blankets or soft areas around the place for him to climb up, just to make it a little bit safer. Also just in case he runs into anything at the moment. We don't want him injuring himself, and we'll slowly modify the place a little bit so that it's Zach safe and he doesn't have any problems while he's learning the ropes inside Disneyland.
Say hello. Sweet, good boy. Hello. Hello, big boy. Where are you? Yeah, it's scary, isn't it, baby? Okay. Okay. Hello, bye-bye. But Idris is here. There you go, come on, come see him. There he is. There's Idris. Oh, good boy. No. Good boy.
There you go.
So just going to give him a little room to comfort him. It's a big space, it's big and scary. So just want to give him a little room to tell him it's okay. Hello. Hello. Zach in Disneyland. This is with Camilla. So Zach really likes to sit on people. He likes, as evidenced by my leg. He's really affectionate with his carers now. It's also really good for him to get a good bit of balance going, stimulate the brain. Hello. When he's curious, he does this head tilt a lot. So he's very interested in what's going on over there. You'll see that we have covered all the poles. Hello, Zachy. And low branches with blankets. This is in case he hits his head. His vision isn't 100%, so you can't always see everything, and especially in a new place where it's overwhelming and overstimulating, he might get a little bit stressed and run into them. As you can see something because he saw Camilla put his food box on the floor. And there's Idris in his crate. So there's a lot going on for Zach. There's a lot of bandits outside playing and making noise. So he's staying where he knows, which is with his people. But he's very interested and it's going very well. Zach really likes to sit on top of Idris. I think it's the height of the crate, that, or he's trying to show that he was here first. And it's some sort of dominance thing. I doubt it. I think it's the height, but Zach does like sitting up here. Idris is actually in there. He's looking out his tiny little holes, his little windows. Very interested in what's going on. So Idris is still on crate rest for now. We are going to move him to a slightly bigger area at some point, but Disneyland is a little bit too big for him right now. And he will want to climb, which is not good for his leg. So for now, he stays in the crate. Zach sometimes needs help with the dismount. Otherwise it's a bit of falling gracefully. Oh. So Camilla's just going to make sure that he's not going to fall off these branches. He does have pretty good balance and this is really good for him to practice, but there's a time and a place, Zach. So we did this for Bo as well, so when Bo first came into Disneyland we had to make sure he didn't fall off anything. Same with Felix. So we're quite used to it. But for Zach, he's had literally nothing to climb other than crates and flat surfaces, so it might be a little bit too much for him. Oh, Zach. So Zach does like height, but we're just being really careful at the moment because he obviously doesn't have that much balance. So Camilla he's going to make sure he's okay. Gotta pop by and say hello to Idris. Idris is actually looking out the holes of his crate of what's going on. Zach's gonna hop up there. Oh no. Yep. Those are your notes, Bubba. Zach's not really interested in taking his meds or any fluids at the moment because of everything that's going on, which is understandable. Managed to get some just then, but then we stopped when we heard some monkey noises. Didn't we, Zach? Camilla's just there ready to catch him if needed, which he doesn't always need, but we've decided to sit like this, which is not great for balance. This is always good to challenge his balance, but his carers won't let him go above pretty much here, even though you can see Disneyland is quite complex because of that reason. So Camilla obviously saw him just about to fall, so has just grabbed him for his own safety and gently lowered him to the ground. But like all tenacious, cheeky young boys, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Oh, well, He did just grab that and was drinking it. But as soon as we get the camera on, he's like, absolutely not. So that was just the syringe of some of Zach's supplements and medications to keep you nice and healthy, bubs. Idris in Disneyland. He's still in his little crate. So he's looking out the windows. He is very interested. Also does not want to drink. There's so much to see, so much to do. So he's just looking out. We've started him on another antibiotic today because there is still quite a bit of infection in his head. So he would have finished his original antibiotic tomorrow, but it's clearly not enough. So we're starting him on another one just to make sure he definitely gets rid of it, as the infection is in his head. You can see he's not using that leg that's close to us, but that is because the pellet is in the hip there and in the knee. But the swelling has gone down, which is really good, and there's no heat in there anymore. He's still a bit stiff, understandably, so we'll move him to a bigger space, but it will still be a form of crate rest for him. But he's doing really well, eating lots. Got a new teddy bear there, he's got a little koala. We like looking at what's going on. Luna's just replacing his little drinks bowl and he's very interested. Oh, look at that leg! No, that's good. Oh my god, that's amazing! He's using his leg. So his leg is the one that you can see here, closest to us. That was the one that's got the pellet in the knee and in the hip. So it was initially very swollen and he held it up and didn't use it and he was very painful on it. But as you can see, he's not at the moment. Oh, you're such a good boy. Yeah. Now come back this end. Idris? Idris?
Bye-bye. There's another one here.
We are now going to prepare Idris's meds for 10 o'clock. So we have already given the meds mix. We are now going to do the other meds. So for that we need PCIP. That helps with the brain and getting everything back on track. So I've got an 1/8 of that. Then the PMPP. Here is an 1/8 of that as well. And we are now going to put that into these grapes. But we need to peel them. There we go. And now we are going to cut it open and make a little flap in there so that we can hide the meds in there. Here's the PCIP. It's a blue powder. I'm going to put that in here and hide it nicely so that he can't see it from the beginning. Then I'm going to make a second pouch, put the PPMP in there. So the PPMP goes in here. Now I close the flap and now I've got this little grape. So here's the grape. There. And now we are going over to Idris. Hi Idris. And there he's already coming because he knows what he's getting. Yeah. Come.
And it really is disheartening when you put all their effort into making up their meds and they just refuse to take it. That's a monkey for you. So, of course, we'll have to go back and try it on something else, and hopefully he'll like some other medication or like it on some other carrier. In this case, I think Banana was paid up and he enjoyed it on that. But that's how it goes with all the monkeys. So it looks simple. You put a lot of effort into it, a lot of care and time, and sometimes they just don't want what you want to give, and you've got to try and try again.
So Idris didn't want the grape, so I made everything up in banana now. And he is eating the banana now, which is exactly what we want, because on the banana are the meds.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Zach and Idris. Idris, a new little one. We're going to keep an eye on him, and hopefully we can follow him all the way back to his troop. I just want to thank everybody for your donations and your contributions. For those of you who are sharing the program, watching us on our other social media, and helping us make a difference for these monkeys. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next episode.
And that's how we give meds to our monkeys.